Heyo, this is Matt, and we have another action figure review. Anakin Skywalker. Well, actually not Anakin Skywalker, it's the Fallen Savior. It's a pretty epic name too. This is not an officially licensed figure. It's by a company called JNB Toys, which also made the Luke Skywalker, well, the Interstellar Ranger, that I did a review on. And in that review, I did have a bunch of you guys comment about reviewing this guy. They also have another version of this one that I did not get. So this is the only Anakin looking figure that I have from them. And an older one that I did is Black Warrior. This one was by Play 112, which may or may not be the same company. Anyway, I got this from Toyz Metaverse. And the initial impression is not so good. He gives off the same vibe as the Miles G. Morales figure. And I think it's just because his body is too small. Body is too short. And that's what I did with the Miles G. Morales was I ended up swapping bodies and putting the Peter B. Parker body on from Mafex. I thought it looked way better. I still need to tune it up some, but like the height, the build, it looked more like what I would imagine him to look like. So whatever body they use under the suit, I just feel like it's not a good body. And it doesn't, like they spend all this time when we'll look at like this detail, like the detail's awesome. Like it looks really good, but he just looks too short. And like there's no hip swivel. It's really tight. And just like the biggest negative with the Luke Skywalker or the Interstellar Ranger figure was that it had no ankle movement. I've had a few people comment and I've seen a few mods that I want to cut and make like an ankle joint. I just haven't yet. I've been busy with some other stuff. So I'm sure I'll do that with this guy as well. Cause like the boots, they look awesome. But even when I'm trying to stand them, like, okay, I guess that works. But it's very weird to make him stand because there's no ankle movement to adjust. So anyway, checking out what's in the box, we do have a total of 6 hands, 3 pairs, actually 7 hands, 3 gloved hands, 3 open hands on the left side, and then we do have this gold hand, like the robotic hand, which is cool, like it looks awesome, but it feels really fragile and but it kind of bends also. I'm not sure like what I would use this for, but I'll try it out and see if it looks cool. It does come with 2 head sculpts, which they look extremely similar, but this one is going to have the like Sith eyes, the scar, and then the one that came on it originally is just like the blue-eyed Anakin version. This one is where he's becoming Darth Vader, but the expression looks kind of similar, which is a little bit lame. Just like, it would have been nicer to have a different expression. We do have 2 lightsabers. We have his main one, and then I think this is supposed to be Obi-Wan's. I'm not sure, but there's a blue and green blade, and then we have the blue and green swoosh blades, and then these just pop easily into the slots, just like Black Series figure or something. So looking at the articulation, it's really weird because, like I said earlier, I think the body is just a cheap body. I am really gonna look at swapping this out, like trying to get like a different blank body. I have some pre-ordered from a company. I need to see, hopefully they can come in soon. It might be a little bit more muscular, but I just feel like they're gonna be better overall. Cause yeah, I feel like I'm struggling even doing this review because I can't look at him, man. Nah, it's not that bad. Articulation is just kind of like basic. It stinks, there's no hip swivel. It stinks, there's no ankle movements. The boots, I don't know how the boots are connected. They kind of turn a little bit. Like hopefully they can pop off so I can swap them out easily. The leather part is wired and that can move really easily. which is cool. And I do like this like fake leather. I've been trying to find some for myself, and I'm not sure what to look for. I did get some like super thin, cheap like fake leather, but I feel like this is even better for figure customizing. So if anybody knows super cheap fake leather, let me know in the comments. And like I said, the cloth, the detail is all really good. I do love the tunic and the robes, and it does come with also the Jedi robe, this brown. It's a little shiny, but I think it's like it still works, and I think it could look cool. Maybe it looks really good on him right now, like especially to cover up any kind of like height difference or something. Like I can see that. I can see this kind of masking some of the negatives. The head does come off easily. It's kind of annoying. It doesn't stay on very well. Try to push it in. Even the head looks like it's supposed to be for a bigger body. There's hardly any. There's like zero ab crunch. There's kind of a little bit of turn in the waist. I guess enough for posing. The elbows have a weird bend to them. Maybe it's just because of the fabric, but I think they're like a cheap double joint elbow. The knees can bend pretty well. His neck and head do have a really good movement. Like if I can get a different body, I would probably still use the same neck too. Maybe. It's the best articulation on him, the neck. Yeah, compared to Luke Skywalker, they're almost the same height. I'm pretty sure they used, if I had to guess, they use the same body, the same blank base body. And just looking at a few other comparisons, and here's how he looks next to the SHF Anakin Skywalker. And so the scale's a little bit different. I think maybe it's not the size, but the proportion that looks off. And then here's a Black Series Anakin, Padawan version. Doesn't fit perfectly, but throwing the head sculpt onto the Black Series Clone Wars version of Anakin, like I feel like that looks pretty cool. Like that almost looks like a Hot Toys, kind of, not really. And as we already saw, the JNB Luke Skywalker. Here's a Mafex Ahsoka, Mafex Mandalorian. And then here's a Black Series Stormtrooper. Darth Maul version, which I think is also the same body, but Darth Maul, I imagine, shorter, so I feel like his is the perfect body. Here's a Mezco Gomez, the Void Wars Red-Eyed Knight edition. I love what Mezco did with his boots, and that's something that I can probably see myself trying to emulate with these boots once I swap the body out. Even though the articulation is limited, here's a few poses that I kind of threw them in. So in my limited experience with these third-party figures, I feel like it's just 50-50. I mean, yes, they're not as expensive as some other figures from Mafex or SH Figure Arts, but like you're not getting a fully like finished, completed figure. But you are getting some really good parts, and I feel like that's, if you try to buy like not that this is perfect, and I'm sure there's better people that paint them out there, but like if you just try to buy one, well painted head sculpt of Anakin, it's probably gonna be like $30 from some of the better painters. And then like these soft goods, like just the robes, I paid, I think maybe just like $5 for like some cheap cloth robes that weren't that good. And that's just like this part right here. But then you have the other like tunic, And then this belt is really good, and the boots and the details to get it all printed. I feel like if you bought this piece by piece, you know, you'd probably be looking at over, like for sure over 100. I mean, I guess you are supporting, you know, individual creators, which is cool for certain things, but I mean, that's the catch. That's the catch to put it all together. Unfortunately for this initial review, it's not that great. I do think there's a ton of potential, and I am going to try to swap out bodies and do a different one, like just do a better base body, because I do love the soft goods. I do love the details, and the face goods, even though they're similar, like they're good. Like I feel like they do a good job of capturing Anakin Skywalker. So if it's a success, I'd probably do a YouTube video over that. If it's not a success, you can probably find it on TikTok or maybe some photos on Instagram. You can check me out there. Till then, create and inspire.